All right, so you're doing notes on page 7. And so we're still just kind of working with adding and subtracting integers. So these signs are the same. So they're all yellow. So it's all positive. So your sum is 9 and the sign is positive. Okay, this is 14 and your sign is positive. This is 17 and your sign is positive. On this one, you have all reds. It's all negative numbers. So you have 5 negatives and 4 negatives. So your answer is going to be a -9. And your next one, they're the same sign. So you're going to -14. Okay. And then finally, -17. So it says, look for a pattern, then write a general rule or a list of steps to find the sum of two integers with the same sign. So this is what I have been talking about. If the numbers have the same sign, you're going to add the numbers, just the numbers, don't worry about the signs. So just ignore the signs. Okay, you're going to add the numbers and then you're going to keep the sign of the original numbers. So you're going to add them. If the signs are the same, you're going to add them together and keep the sign. Okay, so if I look at this, if we use this strategy, this is 7. These, you add them together, it's 9, and you keep the sign. You add them together and you keep the sign, it's positive. The next one, you add them together, you get 11, and you keep the sign, -11. So you're just looking at the numbers. So I would like you to work these, and then I'll put the answers there. Okay, so these are both negative, and kids always want to put 0 for this, but you got to think about those red dots we had. You would have 10 red dots and 10 red dots, and together that's a -20. Okay, and on this one, you add them together, it's 13, but it's a -13. This is 26. This one is a -32. This is a -34, 41, it's positive, 32, and a negative, because they're both negative, 40. Okay, so if the signs are the same, you're going to add just the numbers themselves and keep the sign. Okay, so now let's look if the sign is positive. Different signs. One's positive, one's negative. So these are a little bit different because these are adding integers with different signs. Up here, this whole front page was adding integers with the same sign. Okay, so if I add these together, if I think about my little dots, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. These pairs, undo that. I'd have 5 that cancel with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That leaves me with 2. Okay, and the sign is positive. Okay, and then we did the number lines. And remember, I didn't really care. So if I'm at a -3 and I go 13 this direction, that would put me at 10. Okay, so if I add 13, that would put me at 10. And the sign on that is positive. Okay, so either way, I want you to do these 4 questions, whether you like the number line or whether you liked the pairs, the 0 pairs. It doesn't matter to me, but I want you to do these 4. So this answer is pause. Make sure you did that. Okay, this answer is 5. It's positive. This answer is a -3. It's negative. This answer is a -1. It's negative. This answer is a -2. It's also negative. Okay, so the pattern is, if I just look at the numbers 7 and 5, I'm actually subtracting them and keeping the sign of the bigger one. So if I look at like 23, if I ignore the signs and just do 10 minus 9, the answer is 1. But, so I'm looking at the difference between them. My answer is 1, but it's a -1 because all those 0 pairs would cancel out and it would leave me with 1 red, 1 left. So my answer is negative. Okay, so my steps would be to find the difference of the absolute value. So you're going to make them positive. Just look at the numbers themselves. So you're basically just subtracting what the numbers are. You're ignoring their signs. And then you're keeping the sign of the larger number. I should say the larger absolute value. Because 3 is bigger than a negative 10, like the numbers. But if you just look at what they represent, there's 10 red chips. There's more red chips. So you have to kind of go with that. Okay, so if I look at 25, the larger number is positive, so my answer is going to be positive. And now I just subtract them, so my answer is a positive 6. I didn't really need the positive sign. I'm just trying to show you kind of the strategy. If I look at the numbers, forget about the signs. 9 minus 4 is 5. And the bigger number itself, there's going to be more red chips than yellow. So if I look at 27, there's going to be more red chips than yellow. And so I would subtract those and get a negative 6. And if I look at 28, there's going to be more yellow chips. There's 12 of them. And then I zero pair 2 of them. I subtract 2 things out and I get 10. So again, same thing on the next one, 17. There's more positive chips and I'm taking 5 of them out. So my answer is 12. And then here, they're the same number of reds and yellows. They're all 0 pairs. So my answer is 0. I would like you to work these 34, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38. I would like you to pause the video and I would like you to get me those answers. Okay, so if I pause the video, the bigger number is negative, so my answer is a negative 11. Here, the bigger number is positive, so my answer is 22. Bigger number is negative, so my answer is a negative 14. Bigger number is 6, so my answer is 1. This is 0, 5, negative 9, because 15, there's more red chips, and there's more red chips here. So this gives you kind of a start to this homework.